Hello everybody, I'm at the Sikh Arts and Film Festival, and today with me I've got Taran Singh from Taran 3D. We're going to be interviewing about his amazing showcase here today. So I'd like to introduce Taran from Taran 3D. How are you, Taran Singh?
I'm really good, thank you.
Great. Are you enjoying today?
Yeah, it's been really lovely. I'm really enjoying the music as well.
Yeah, really good music. Yeah, that's right. So please, Taran Singh, you're the founder of Taran 3D. Can you tell us a bit more about Taran 3D and what it actually entails?
Yeah, so we're an immersive studio. So we produce like immersive applications, animations, and a lot of virtual reality and augmented reality applications as well for various different sector businesses.
Yeah.
So we work in sort of medical industry, manufacturing industry, automotive, and a lot of training. So a lot of training can be done in virtual reality now. So during the lockdown, obviously people couldn't, you couldn't get your customer out to, see your product, or you couldn't get your product to your customer, and we can do all that virtually, and that's what my business does.
So when did you actually found your Taran 3D business?
So I started it about 4 years ago. So I was working for an engineering company previously, and I'd worked there for 10 years, and I was doing a lot of research and development using immersive technologies. And so I decided, I looked out into the world and I thought there's just so many different opportunities out there. That I thought I could sort of take this technology and use it in different ways.
Yeah.
And one of the first projects I worked on was the Anglo-Sikh Virtual Museum, initiated by the Sikh Museum Initiative in Leicester.
Oh.
So I worked very closely with them to develop a way of digitizing Sikh artifacts, because one of the issues that we have is a lot of our Sikh artifacts, which were brought back by the British or were like collected or looted by the British, are in private collections of museums or in private collectors' private collections.
Yeah.
So, there's not a way for people to easily have access to it.
That's so true.
So we were able to go in, 3D scan those items, and then make them digital, and then for you to be able to see them on your mobile phone or using a VR headset. So you can actually pick up one of the swords from Maharaja Ranjit Singh's time and have it in your hand virtually. So we thought this is a better way of doing things, because it means, you don't have to insure the items, you don't have to transport them and put them in danger, and so we thought, it's just improving wider accessibility using, the expertise that I have.
That is such a fantastic idea, especially what you've just said there, to be able to use a VR set as like a simulation of what it'd be like to hold that particular object, the artifact, as you mentioned. That's incredible. So does it take you long to prepare that, the artifact, and how do you do that? Does it take you a while to actually do that?
It does take a while. We have to first sort of communicate with the museums or the private collectors that own these items.
Yeah.
We have to arrange time that we can then visit, and then have a space where we can start to photograph and then start to measure and document it. In some cases, we can use 3D scanners. In other cases, we use a technique called photogrammetry, which uses photographs to create a 3D model.
Wow.
And sometimes we can actually just create it from scratch from an artist's impression. So my background is sculpting as well. So I do clay and digital sculpting. So I can see something and then model it and then create a digital version of it, and then I can 3D print that digital version to make a replica. And so those are the sort of techniques that we've been using, traditional computer-aided design techniques, but also mixed in with like game technology as well.
Yeah.
So if we use game technology, all of our like software works in game engines. So all of those things sort of come into play. And as we're moving into the future, there's so many different new technologies coming in now, such as AI, augmented reality, and we're going to have augmented reality glasses soon.
Wow.
And we need to be able to produce more 3D content, which is based on our heritage. And the reason that it's so beneficial is because imagine you've got one item, only a certain number of people are going to be able to see that item, even if it's on display.
Exactly.
But if you have a digital item, millions of people around the world can, see it anytime they want and whichever medium they want. So that's kind of like where we're aiming, really. That's our sort of aim, to digitize all of our, artifacts and have them on an online repository so anyone can have access to them.
That is absolutely fantastic. Like, I've not ever heard of anything like this before. It's amazing that you've started this Taran 3D, is it project? I would say, or business?
Yeah, so my business kind of services like various other industries, and so we do a lot of commercial work.
Yeah.
But this is our like sort of like our CVR work that we do with
Oh.
Sikh Museum Initiative.
Yeah.
And so they were very lucky because they were able to get heritage lottery funding to do some of their projects.
Yeah.
So and we were able to sort of subsidize them because we've got a business. And you know, also alongside that, we've been able to develop a virtual reality version of Harmandir Sahib that we've got today. So you can walk around the Harmandir Sahib. It's not fully finished yet, but we've got the Parikrama area ready. And then we've also done a virtual reality meditation app as well. So we're thinking about how we can use new technologies to aid in sort of like religious worship or for teaching young people as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic, honestly. Especially you mentioned that you're able to see Harmandir Sahib again from anywhere. If you're not able to go there, at least you can see in virtual reality what that is like. That's incredible. You have the headset here today, so are people able to see Harmandir Sahib that way?
We're going to be doing a demonstration soon, and then it's there. We've already got one with a lot of the artifacts there, and then we've got the Harmandir Sahib, and the VR meditation app will be on later on. And we're also seeing it as an education tool as well. So like if you've got kids and they're able to explore Harmandir Sahib and click on things and hear the history, it's a really kind of engaging, interactive, sort of gamey way of them, you know, teaching them. So that's kind of like what we're aiming at, really. We seeing that engagement with young people is getting more and more difficult. So we've got to use new technologies and new media to sort of you know, connect with them.
So this is great for younger people. As you said, they can put a VR set on and they're able to then see Harmandir Sahib. That's incredible. Like that, you know, the fact that you don't have to get on a plane, you can just see it from anywhere in the world. What is that like? Do people like that when they put the VR set on?
Yes, so I went to Singapore because they do a massive smargam there just last year. And then we trialed it there with a lot of people. And, you know, some people who haven't been able to travel back to Amritsar, you know, were kind of a bit overwhelmed by being able to see it. And the kids absolutely loved it. Like we had a queue of kids who would have a go and they would come back to have another go, go. Because to them it was like they were getting to play and explore. And so, for young people especially, and we found that with a lot of the other museum stuff that we've done as well, young people find it very, very engaging. So to have a touch screen that you can view objects on, having a VR headset, you know, or being able to view it on your mobile phone, we think is the future, you know, a great way that we can connect with young people.
And a good way of, as you said, educational method of doing it as well, and having that rapport of, like you said, a game sort of feel to it. So they're able to interactively have a look, walk around Harmandir Sahib. That's just amazing. I'm very looking forward to doing going on the VR set today and doing that. That's incredible. So tell us a bit more. Have you been doing any other things recently through Taran 3D? Have you been doing anything else?
Yeah, so one of the other projects that we're kind of really proud of is the Leicester Sikh War Memorial statue. So we were sort of contacted by Leicester City Council, and they were really interested in sort of having, you know, some of the councils were very interested in having this sort of memorial to Commonwealth soldiers who took part in the First and Second World War. And you know, we started coming up with some sketches and some ideas, and we based them on, you know, old photographs of the Sikh Sardars. And you know, it was just amazing to learn about the history of, you know, our ancestors who fought in the First, Second World War, very highly respected, you know, by the whole world basically. You know, all the world armies, you know, have had great respect and great things to say about them. And so I started to sort of digitally sculpt this statue of what we think it would look like and what would look right, and making sure the uniform was correct. So I was able to speak to historians and work very closely with Gurinder Singh Mann from the Sikh Museum Initiative. And, you know, we made sure that historically they were correct. And so we came up with this statue idea, and then we 3D printed a small one and it went to the council. So it took quite a while to do, but eventually we were able to get a full 7-foot statue with a 4-foot plinth, you know, installed in Victoria Park in you know, Leicester City Centre, which was an amazing sort of in October last year. It was absolutely amazing to see that actually happen. So we've got a Sikh soldier, you know, an ode, you know, to those you know, Sikhs who sacrificed their lives, which is going to be there permanently now. So that was an amazing project to work on.
Yeah, what an honor to be able to be part of such an incredible project.
It was, yeah.
And to be able to, as you said, design it and, you know, and have that then to be, as you said, in Leicester and the statues there. Like, did it take you a long time to design that?
Yeah, I think a large amount of the time was taken up by the planning and things like that. But the kind of like the actual work of producing the sculpture took about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so there was a lot of in between, back and forth with the council and changes and things like that.
Yeah.
And then we had to sort of get the process of because we used a digital technique, so we had a digital model that was sculpted, whereas traditionally it's done in clay. And then we had to get that sort of CNC 3D printed in large, and then that went to the foundry. But yeah, it was an amazing. Learned so much on it, and really looking forward to doing like some more of that sort of stuff as well in the future.
Yeah, it's really incredible, honestly, to see how we can digitize all of our Sikh heritage. That's important.
It's very important, yeah.
Yeah.
You saw it happening a few years ago, you know, with the situation we had in Iraq.
Yeah.
You know, there were a lot of old monuments and places that were sort of being destroyed because of the war. And so they started to digitize a lot of their sort of environments. And I think this is something that we need to look at for future as well. We've got a lot of buildings in Pakistan and India which are kind of abandoned.
Yeah.
We could, even now, we could 3D scan those and rebuild them as they were. Because we've done a lot of sort of work on objects and refurbishing them, so we can digitally enhance them or rebuild them, even though it's an artist's impression. And we were able to do Guru Gobind Singh Ji's armor, so we didn't have access to it, but just from images and photographs, we were able to reproduce like quite accurately, and it's on our system at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to think that Guru Gobind Singh Ji's armor exists. Yeah, it's there, but nobody's ever had access to it or ever seen it. But we can do it digitally, you know.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. I'm really excited to see all these because it's important. We're not going to be able to ever maybe physically see the artifacts or the armor, as you said, but to see it digitally is even more incredible. At least we're going to have the opportunity to do that. I think your work is incredible, Taran Singh. I think it's amazing, and you know, just wanted to congratulate on that, because just you telling me about it, I just feel it's a very important thing to do, and it's a great thing to do in our community as well. So you should be really proud of yourself, because honestly, it's just made me feel it's such an important thing to do for our society and our community, and that it's great. How do we get to see this? I mean, do you have, where can people see your work? And
so we've got a website online called AngloSikhMuseum.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you can go on there, and we've actually got the objects, so you can actually view them in 3D online.
Okay.
And the VR headset and stuff we usually take out, because obviously you have to install it, but we're working on at the moment making that accessible to everyone, so everyone can just download and view it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where you can find most of our work, and our website. You can find us online as well on Taran 3D on any social media as well.
Yeah, Instagram. I think it's on Instagram as well, and
Instagram,
Facebook,
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Great. So I think it's important for the community and youth to be able to get access to this and to see this.
Definitely.
So are you doing anything else? Anything else that we can look forward to you doing over the next part of the year?
Yeah. So I'm working on like some more Sikh statues as well. So smaller ones. So I'm working on like about 9 different statues at the moment, so that's going to take me quite a while to work through, and I'm just working on the logistics of making it happen and things like that. So at the moment I'm also working on Sikh boxing statues for the Great Tournament, which is going to be happening in Birmingham in July. So it's coming in July. So last time they did it in Derby, and they asked me to sculpt some statues for them, so I did a Sikh boxer for that, because you know, there's no custom sort of bespoke statues. They're all like sort of generic ones. So we made some custom Sikh ones, and so we're working on producing quite a few for that in July. So we're actually busy just working on that. So we're 3D printing the statues, making the bases, and kind of putting them together. And my daughter's helping me actually, so she does all the painting and things like that. Yeah, so that's been quite fun.
That's really great. That's fantastic. So Taran Singh, is incredible everything that we've talked about. Honestly, it's so nice to hear all this amazing work that you're doing, and it's really nice that you've you've come here today. Do you want to give any special message about the Sikh Cleanse?
No, I just think it's a great atmosphere here at the moment, and if you can get out, you should attend events, like these with your kids, because it's all about interacting and networking, and you never know what's going to catch your interest. So yeah, exposing yourself and your kids to as many different sort of types of Sikhi or aspects of Sikhi as well is really good, because so you might not click with one thing, but you'll click with maybe the art side of things.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with me as well. So yeah, it's great to see all the artists here as well, the amazing artwork.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's a really nice event. And as you said, I would definitely encourage all the Sangat to come down to these events or any other events that are going on. But thank you so much for this amazing interview, and I wish you all the success in all your future endeavours, and I hope everybody gets to see all your amazing work.
Thank you very much.
That's okay. Okay, thank you.